About Trinidad versus Lovato. The internet address for online voting is www.mtyson.com. Before voting starts, you can poke around mtyson.com on the World Wide Web. mtyson.com was specifically designed for this event and features bios, interviews, video downloads, and more. And Bobby Ches, let's get your comments as we focus in on a key highlight.
Well, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to draw up a little highlight here of the right hand that knocked out Melinda Robinson. You know, it's really a great shot. What you see here is, you know, she's always on a forward move, Christy. She's always offensive minded. She's coming this way. What happens right here, Melinda throws out a lazy jab, brings it back a little low. Christy comes right over the top, bang, with a right hand. As we roll the tape, you'll see it's right on the money, and it's just a perfect timing shot. There's the jab, brings it back a little low. There's the right hand, right over the top. And Melinda folded. I mean, literally just folded. That was all there was for that fight.
All right, so another victory for Christy Martin. She puts Melinda Robinson on the deck twice, both times with crunching right hands. Coming up later at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, our main event, Bruce Seldon versus Mike Tyson for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. For more on that and a closer look at the man they call the Atlantic City Express, let's go back up to our host, Jim Hill.
Bruce Seldon, the defending champion in tonight's main event, has had some out-of-ring experiences in common with his opponent, Mike Tyson. Both have had acquired status as heavyweight champion.
In the shadow of the opulent boardwalk casinos, Bruce Seldon grew up on Atlantic City's west side, amid the violence and shattered lives of the streets. Arrested for grand larceny at the age of 16, Seldon was sentenced to 10 years in prison, where he surprisingly discovered a future few, if any, believed possible.
That's when I picked up my first set of boxing gloves and I put them on and I said, hey, I got talent and I know how to box.
It was that talent and a concerted effort to turn his life around which granted Seldon an early release.
I took my experience and my time being incarcerated, and I put all that together. Here I am today, heavyweight champ of the world.
Relying on power, speed, and athleticism, Seldon won his first 18 fights, 15 by knockout. Suddenly, he was a big man in a small city, besieged by the temptation of fame. In less than 6 months' time, he lost to Oliver McCall, Riddick Bowe, and a year later, a decision to Tony Tubbs.
In the sport of boxing, one man has to win, one man has to lose. That's the rule, you know. So when I took those 3 losses, it kind of woke me up.
Over the next 2 years, a rededicated and determined Seldon won 7 straight bouts by knockout. Using a powerful jab to set up his opponents, he earned a reputation as one of the most skilled technicians in the heavyweight division.
I'll be tough, be strong, knock these guys right out. And that's how I did it. I dreamed being heavyweight champ of the world. Everybody dreams the impossible dream. You know, they never expect it to happen until it happened.
And it did finally happen. Seldon's dream came true last April when he faced Tony Tucker for the vacant WBA Heavyweight Championship.
Because my jab was working so good that night, I seen it in his eyes that he was getting real frustrated.
Beautiful round for Bruce Seldon. By the 6th round, Tucker's eye had nearly closed, and many, including Seldon, wondered how much more he could take.
When the bell sounded, the way he started to come out, I kind of seen he was slowing down. He was getting real sluggish. So right then, I kind of knew that fight was mine.
And by the end of the 7th round, the bout was mercifully stopped.
The winner by way of technical knockout and the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, the Atlantic City Express, Bruce Seldon.
It was the greatest moment in my life. It was a dream come true.
4 months later, Seldon carried his championship belt into the ring against veteran Joe Hill.
I just wanted to pump my jab and just keep my jab going all night long and eventually win the fight.
and the winner by way of technical knockout, and still WBA heavyweight champion of the world, the Atlantic City Express, Bruce Seldon.
Now, 1 year later, Seldon steps into the ring against one of the most respected champions in the history of the sport, Mike Tyson.
Tyson's just another man. He's not invincible. He can be beat. And I'm training because I know this is the most important fight of my life.
Will the confident Atlantic City Express be able to keep on track or get derailed by Mike Tyson? If you believe the WBA champion, his devastating jab will be his ticket to ride. For more on Bruce Seldon, let's go to Jim Gray in the dressing room of the WBA heavyweight title holder. Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Jim Hill. We are joined by Bruce Seldon, the WBA champion, his son Isaiah in front of him, his brothers, his whole entourage, sparring partners, and so forth. Bruce, you have not fought in over a year. How will you combat against the rust?
Well, I don't feel as though it's any rust there because, you know, my sparring partners who are great guys, you know, they kept me active. You know, I knew that I wasn't going to fight again until it was my turn to fight Mike Tyson. So what we done was we went into the gym and they kept me busy, you know what I'm saying? They took a few weeks off here and there periodically, but, you know, they're great guys and they kept me in great shape.
Part of the reason that you didn't fight, not wanting to lose this opportunity in case you might stumble elsewhere?
Exactly. You know, I wanted this opportunity to fight Mike Tyson, who was considered the baddest man on the planet right now. And I feel as though I am the baddest man on the planet right now, so I didn't want to take any chances in losing out on this. Plus, it's a big money fight for me, so I didn't want to take any chances of losing out on that.
You nervous? You intimidated at all? A lot of opponents in the past of Mike Tyson have been nervous and intimidated, and it showed when they've gotten into the ring.
No, I'm not nervous, nor am I intimidated. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. This is what I worked hard for. You know, I worked 10 years to get to this point right here, so it's no need to turn it back now. You know, my theme song says it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? No, can't turn back now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is where I want to be. I'm excited, man.
What do you think, Isaiah? Your dad going to do it tonight?
Yes.
All right. Best of luck to both of you. We'll see you after the fight. Let's go out to Steve Albert.
All right, Jim, Bruce Seldon, who will earn a reported $5 million later tonight when he takes on Mike Tyson here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, appearing very calm, cool, and relaxed. As we settle in now for the IBF Welterweight Championship, undefeated Felix Trinidad defending his title against former U.S. Junior Welterweight champion and currently the IBF's #9 contender Ray Lovato making his first attempt at a world title. Despite Trinidad's unblemished record and a fighter who is close to being considered a great champion, his chin remains a question mark. He has been down but far from out. Tonight it's Ray Lovato's turn to try and knock Felix Trinidad off his pedestal, a most formidable challenge, especially when you've had just 2 fights in the last 2 years. And let us take a look at the challenger, Californian Ray Lovato. He won his first 20 fights before suffering his first defeat. It happened 2 fights ago as he lost a majority decision to highly regarded Daryl Coley for the NABF welterweight title in Coley's hometown of Washington, D.C. Lovato bounced back with a 10-round decision over Jose Luis Verdugo this past May. His most impressive win 3 fights back when he knocked out veteran Roger Mayweather with 1 punch in the 2nd round. And Ferdy, Lovato is game, but his limited experience with world-class competition could be a major factor. What does he have to do to upset Trinidad?
Well, with all he has against him, I would say maybe an Uzi or Glotz or maybe a Mangum. I mean, I don't know what inside the ring he could do to beat this kid. He's so good, Trinidad. And here's a man that's coming off inactivity, cannot punch hard. He doesn't have a big punch record, and he's not going to be as good a boxer as Trinidad. So luck is the only thing that you can factor in. Maybe he'll get in a lucky punch. I don't think so because nobody's been able to do so on Trinidad. I think Trinidad's on a course to really superstar.
And Uzi. Lovato lost his only fight of 1995. He won his only fight of 1996. Is that enough preparation for a fighter like Trinidad? We'll find out. And let us take a look at the champion, the dynamic Felix Tito Trinidad. Tonight, his 9th title defense, a title he won just over 3 years ago with a stirring 2nd-round knockout of 2-time world champion Maurice Blocker. Previously, he has not shied away from quality opposition, having fought many #1 contenders and former champions. He's got one of the highest knockout ratios in boxing today, 86%. 15 of his last 16 opponents did not last the distance. Only Hector Camacho took him to the final bell in the past 5 years. He averages just 4 rounds per bout with 7 first-round KOs. And look at him. His baby face and innocent looks, well, they belie his destructive powers. But, Bobby, with Trinidad's impending big money fights, is there the danger of his looking ahead?
You know, Steve, there's always the danger of a young fighter who's coming to tremendous success early in his career will sometimes look down the road and look past a fighter who rises to the occasion. But for Trinidad, I don't believe this is going to be a problem. He's focused, and he knows the promised land comes with hard work and preparation.
All right, Bobby, let's see how they stack up on paper as we check out the tail of the tape. At 23, Trinidad is 3 years younger than Lovato. Trinidad, a big welterweight, 5'11", 3 inches taller than Lovato. Trinidad right at the 147 limit. Lovato just under in the 3.5-inch reach advantage for Trinidad. And to the IBF rules for this title fight. Scoring under the 10-point must system. 3 judges will score. No standing 8 count. No 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. The bell cannot save a fighter in any round. If an accidental foul occurs before the end of the 6th round, the fight is ruled a technical draw. If it happens after the end of the 6th round, they go to the scorecards. So here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, set for the introductions. Let's go to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed ready for the first of our World Championship featured attractions here at the MGM Grand Garden. Once again, is brought to you by Don King Productions and King Vision in association with Showtime, Event Television, Corona Beer, and the MGM Grand. This bout is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation. The President, Robert Lee Sr., Supervisor at ringside, Robert Lee Jr., along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. James Nave. And our judges scoring this bout from ringside, we have Dwayne Ford, Eugene Grant, and Joe Pasquale. Introducing to you our referee in charge, working in this his 32nd world title bout, introducing Mitch Halpern. All right, fans, here we go with the IBF Welterweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. I present to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with red trim, fighting out of his hometown of Sacramento, California. He weighed in at a ready 146.5 pounds with a record of 21 wins, 1 defeat. He has 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome tonight's challenger, ranked the #9 welterweight contender in the world by the IBF. Introducing the pride and joy of Sacramento, here is Dangerous Ray Lovato. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing blue trunks with gray trim and hailing from Cupe Alto, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 29 wins, no losses, 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome one of the stars of the welterweight division and all of boxing. Tonight he is making the 10th defense of his title, introducing the undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world. Aquí está el sensacional e invicto Tito Felix Trinidad. Once again, a referee in charge, Mitch Halpern, now to give instructions.
Come on out. Okay, Jose. Come on out. This will be a clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Any questions? All right, touch gloves. Let's go. It's more, dude.
Felix Trinidad viewing this as a tune-up for perhaps Terry Norris or Pernell Whitaker or Ike Corte in the near future. Many feel he'll have no problem moving up in weight to meet Norris. The highly confident Ray Lovato is thinking upset, although few feel he is in Trinidad's league. Lovato wearing the towel you may have noticed coming in deference to some friends from the boxing community who passed away from the Sacramento and Fresno area where he is from. The referee, Mitch Halpern, with the opening signal. We're underway for the IBF Welterweight Championship, scheduled for 12.
Boy, Felix ran across there. You know, he has a look on his face like a young kid about ready to eat a big plate of spaghetti. I mean, it looks like, oh boy, when can this start? I mean, he really enjoys what he does.
Undefeated. Knowing Trinidad's history, that he's been rocked early on a few occasions, Lovato told us he intends to go right at the champion from the start. Trinidad got early wake-up calls from Obakar and Yory Boy Campas in '94, even against a journeyman named Anthony Stevens in '93. All ultimately knockout wins, though, for Trinidad.
And all those guys could punch. This guy doesn't have a very big punch record.
You know, Lovato was very candid and said, I'm in a no-lose situation. I win or I can win more. Even if he looks good and loses, his stock will go up. But, you know, he's in with a great fighter today, and he has to bring something to the table if he's going to get respect, because Tito will eventually just walk right through you.
And look at the difference in size. See how tall Tito is? As tall, he has those big, long arms, and he knows how to move extremely well to get away from punches. I mean, this guy, he's on roller skates when he wants to be so smooth.
Yeah, Trinidad, not just a welterweight, a big welterweight, borderline junior middleweight.
Yeah, he's 6 foot. He'll grow easily into junior middle, full middleweight if he wants. Heck, he could be good light heavyweight. He's tall enough.
He's full and thick.
Bobby, you're talking about a lot of good fights there. There's a lot of great guys that Terry Norris is lining up to fight him. That would be a great fight if it happens.
Well, you know, that's part of tonight's card, a showcase for both of these talents, which they may be on a collision course for one another.
That'd be a great fight, man.
Despite the odds, Lovato told us he's not intimidated. Very, very confident, saying he's going to shock the world and beat Trinidad.
Coming in now with a little bit of a looping overhand, right? More of a slap than a good solid punch, but Tito's taking his time. Notoriously slow starter. Doesn't really want to get heated up yet. He's very patient, just sitting outside and jabbing.
Yeah, he's known to take his time starting, but a terrific finisher when he gets his opponent in trouble. We have seen him start deliberately, then begin to establish his power, seek out his range, and when he finds it, it's usually bad news for his opponent.
He's a very scientific fighter. I mean, he is the kind of guy that really does study somebody in the first round. It's not just fooling around. He's looking to see where he can come in, what he can do, what the other guy is going to do. Very good. And he listens to his corner very well also. Another mark of a good fighter.
Tremendous puncher. His punches just explode. Very good boxer, very quick. He's a worker, too. He'll put punches together.
Well, you know, he's not putting too much together right now. I think he needs to get a little bit more busy. Throw double, triple jab, throw a couple combinations, and test Lovato, see what he's bringing to the table.
2 fights ago, you recall, he tried to load up a little too much against Rodney Moore. And then he had little or no trouble with his last opponent, Freddie Pendleton, whom he KO'd in the 5th for his 8th title defense, as Pendleton just crumbled. Final seconds of the opening round, quite uneventful.
Just telling him to raise his hands, and you got caught by an easy punch for nothing. You know, just raise your hands. Now let's get back to it. More work. I think the opening of the offensive is now second round.
Just one. Okay. Passively.
Okay, seconds out.
Passively.
Let's go. Seconds out. Let's go.
And it's round 2. Larry Goosen, the chief second of the corner of Ray Lovato and Felix Trinidad Sr., Felix's father, guiding him along. Trinidad makes people pay when they miss, usually. Very good counterpuncher. It's a big mistake to stand right in front of him and look to exchange. A lot of movement here from Ray Lovato.
You know, Felix has such a nice smooth jab, long range, the height, reach. I'm not sure why he doesn't use it even more than he already does.
He's certainly not in a hurry, Bobby. Not in a hurry at all.
Very patient young man.
Again, this nothing new as far as Felix Trinidad is concerned. He really measures things out. There's the jab, a wild swing and a miss from Lovato's right hand.
But Lovato's standing right in front of him. Right in front of
that could eventually be a huge mistake.
Yeah, he missed the cannonading right hand there, but that's gonna land in time. He adjusts and he bursts forth with big bombs.
Lovato has to close that gap too, even if he's not standing right in front. He has to get close with it, side to side, moving, slipping, but he's got to get closer. Shorter arms, you know, he's shorter in the height. He's got to get inside.
Bobby, he's going to pay a big toll going in there, because once he starts to come in, that's when the jab starts to really pepper him by Felix Trinidad. That's what he does good. When guys start to come in, he picks them apart.
Lovato with the quick flick of the jab there. There's another left jab by Lovato, trying to get in and out quickly. Misses to the body with the right hook. The elusiveness defensively of Felix Trinidad. Fishing with that chopping right. Lovato gives him a little smirk. Lovato confident, bordering on cocky.
Trinidad's offense is almost obvious by its absence. He's not really doing too much offensively right now, and you have to wonder, when is he going to heat up? How long is it going to take him?
Quick left jab by Trinidad that got in. Flush on the face of Lovato.
Lovato has thrown a number of punches, none of which have landed with any kind of effectiveness. But then again, neither has Trinidad. It's been a very lackluster round.
And a little trickle of blood from the right nostril of Lovato, perhaps the product of that jab moments ago. As we approach 20 seconds remaining in the second for the IBF welterweight championship. Again, the beautiful defensive work by Trinidad. Well, being one of the most recognizable faces in the world has its advantages. One of them, your own line of sports apparel. Tonight, Mike Tyson launches his. It's called The Other Side of Mike.
It's more difficult to live right in a field of wrong. That's the struggle for the other side.
I've never been afraid to die. I'm overcoming my fear to live. I won the heavyweight title at 20. Now I'm learning what it's like to be a real champion. You don't want to go where I've been, but you do want to go where I'm going.
That's the other side of Mike.
Come on, seconds out.
Round three. Lovato's nose was bloodied in round two, but he has not been intimidated. Let's see what happens here in the third round. Lovato usually relies on a good body attack, knows only one direction, straight ahead. He's adaptable, does have surprising power. He's 21-1 with only 11 knockouts. Not known, though, as a strong puncher. Switch hitting style. He can be confusing at times. It worked against Roger Mayweather a few fights ago. But he works a lot off that left jab to set up the right. There it is. But Trinidad's got an exquisite jab. Setting up the right combination, missing. Good head movement by Lovato. Lovato with his hands down, then he comes plunging forward. Lovato looking pretty sharp.
He's trying to psych himself up even a little, dropping his hands, daring Trinidad to almost hit him, and Trinidad missed quite a lot of those punches.
Yeah, it was unusual in him, who was so sharp, and he gave Ray a little bit of energy there. But he said, "Oh wow, he missed everything. Now I'm coming on."
Lovato, a very busy style, always pressing the attack. He's only lost to Darrell Coley last year.
Give Lovato credit. He's been in there fighting. I mean, he's been creating the fight. The defense of the champion is very, very good. That gets some points, but he's got to start fighting here.
Trying to follow in the long line of tough fighters out of Sacramento. Tony the Tiger Lopez, Bobby Chacon, Bobo Olsen, just to name a few.
And those were the few great ones.
Those are a few good ones.
All three of those were good.
That's for sure.
A lot of pride. Good left hook there by Lovato, boring into the body of Trinidad.
He's winging that right hand a little too much like a slap. Needs to get some more power.
Ray Lovato looking impressive here in round three.
Yeah, this is a good round for Lovato. The other two weren't bad. Nothing was happening to him. He was just missing a great deal, and now he's gotten his attack a little bit more centered.
I don't think anybody got hit in the first round on either side.
I didn't. I don't think you did.
Trinidad looking to open it up a little more now, but back comes Lovato. When you're fighting an obviously lesser quality opponent going in, is there a tendency to let down or lose concentration, Bobby?
You know, sometimes that does happen. Some fighters rise to the occasion, rise to the level of their challenge, and others will just run right through a challenge who's not real tough. Myself, if the guys were great, I just try to do the same as if they were bad, get it done and get it done right. Sometimes you can just get drawn in, though. They're not doing anything, and you tend to follow suit.
Well, Lovato hoping that Trinidad perhaps maybe looking ahead to big money fights down the road and not taking him seriously. Final seconds of round 3, a very good round for the challenger Ray Lovato of Sacramento.
He certainly did himself proud there.
Right now, let's go over to Bill Boggs.
All right, this is a giant party tonight outside the hotel, in the hotel, and in the ring. And one of the men responsible for it, Alex Yemenigian, the president and COO. What a night.
It's fabulous. So you can feel the electricity. And anytime you have Tyson fighting here, it's always like this.
What do you think about the Selden-Tyson fight?
I think Selden is going to surprise a lot of people. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think he's going to give Mike a real test. Absolutely.
All right, now, speaking of tests, what else is coming up here at the MGM Grand Hotel?
Well, we just had Gloria Estefan and Sting. Of course, today we have the Tyson fight. Next, on the 21st of September, we have a Andre Agassi Foundation event, charity event, where we have Billy Joel and a whole bunch of other Elton John and so forth.
It's always a party at the MGM Grand.
Neil Diamond's coming for New Year's Eve.
Well, Mr. Yemenigian, thank you very much. Let's go back to the action.
Thank you.
Steve.
All right, Bill. It is round number 4. Lovato coming off a very good round. Lovato's corner was successful in staunching the flow of blood from numerous cuts, but Trinidad's quickness and his stiff jab could reopen things shortly. We'll just have to wait and see. Trinidad told us he studies his opponent's strengths, not their weaknesses, just goes out and does his thing. He's been careless in a few fights, but he knows how to overcome early adversity. Lovato working the body. First the jabs, doubling up, and then firing the right. Now he goes upstairs to the head again. Lovato looking good. Initiating the attack offensively, coming forward.
One of Lovato's biggest assets here is how he moves. He negates some of the power that Trinidad has because he moves so much that he can't land clean and he can't land twice. And at least for right now, it's keeping him very much in the fight.
Keep in mind, Trinidad does make people pay when they miss.
He just did right then.
Yes.
He just did with a nice little clean hook. It didn't have all the power that he usually throws, but boy, was it clean and sharp.
And he does it so effortlessly, it's almost as if you miss his whole year. Take that with you, too.
That's right. Here's something to remember me by.
Little right uppercut snuck in by Ray Lovato, doing no damage, though.
He's full of all kind of tricky moves.
There's a good straight right hand by Lovato. That connected.
Step back.
He threw that a little more straight, a little more power than he had been slapping.
Good overhand right by Ray Lovato. Then a left counter punch by Mr. Trinidad. Beautiful, crisp left hook.
And did you see Lovato waving him in saying, yeah, come on. But I'll tell you what, you don't want too many of those.
Not against Felix Trinidad.
3 straight resounding shots just then. The right hand and then another good jab. Now you can see the difference in when he punches with meaning.
Stay off the head, Red. Come on.
Now you can see the difference when Trinidad throws something he wants to knock you out. That's hard.
Trinidad, who has displayed explosive power during the course of his impressive career. Oh, a lot of blood flying there off the right hook by Ray Lovato, but it was Lovato's blood that went flying.
It looks like he's bleeding around his mouth area, too, as well as his nose.
Here comes Trinidad, pouring it on, and Lovato invites him in, says, come on, you want more? And Trinidad will do just that.
Yeah, his mouth and his nose are both getting ugly now.
Under 20 seconds in round 4. The most action-packed round offensively for Felix Trinidad.
The first round, and he's looked like Felix Trinidad.
Trinidad going to the body with the left hook at the bell.
Take that round off. Okay, right. There we go. Nice deep breath. you took that round off. Okay? Listen, Ray, you're in too good of shape. Okay? Let's go get this fucker.
Go
Okay?
give him some water, let him rinse out, please.
High five.
Okay, Ray, you're standing too high on the outside there. I told you we can't do that.
Okay.
Bend the knees, bob and weave, okay? When you're doing that, he's missing you.
Okay.
Okay, and let those hands go, damn it. Do you want this title?
Yes.
Then go get it.
Let's take a look at Lovato early. See, he got that right hand in there, but the Trinidad was come on. Let's look at Trinidad.
We watch Trinidad. He's a consummate professional. Slips the jab, throws the left hook right on the button. Clean, crisp. He knows the game.
And I get the feeling when those crisp ones land, it's made some effect beside on his face. On Lovato started fighting different. Started standing straight up. He forgot the bob and weave, and that's what his corner just told him. Hey, you keep standing up, this guy will take you out of there.
Yeah, they said,
bobbing and weaving.
Ray, you took that round off. You're in too good a shape. Go get him. Round 5 for the IBF welterweight championship. Felix Trinidad is the champion in the blue and tan, and Ray Lovato in the black with the red trim. In round 4, after Lovato connected with a clean shot, Trinidad scored with a series of straight rights and solid left hooks. The best round of the fight thus far for Tito Trinidad. Trinidad being very patient here, flicking the jab, looking to set up the right or a combination.
You know, Trinidad staying so far outside most of the time, it's almost as if he's giving
Watch those heads in there. Watch those heads.
Respect to Lovato's power.
Powerful right hook there by Lovato to the ear of Trinidad. Lovato showing more offense now after that last round. But back comes Trinidad with a combination to the head. Oh, that was a home run punch there that just missed by Trinidad.
And you could hear it whiz by his ear, I'm sure. I'll tell you, he's got some good movement, has Lovato, but he better keep those hands a little higher.
And that's what Mitch Halpern is telling him. Here's how they're seeing it at home on the internet. The online scoring has it all tied up at 2-2 in this, the 5th round.
Well, for what it's worth, I've got it 3-1 or 39-37 by 2 points.
I have it 2-1-1. So, you know, it's we're all in the same ballpark. The first round, nobody did anything. I just had it even.
Past the halfway mark of round 5. Wild swing and a miss on a left hook attempt by Lovato. Back comes that shotgun jab by Trinidad.
Break. Step back easy. Step back easy. Watch those heads. Come on.
Lovato still bouncing around. Looks to be in very good condition. You have to be against Felix Trinidad. Is Trinidad working the face with the jab? He's got Lovato backpedaling. He comes forward with a right hand, but Lovato misses. Now look out, another low blow.
Let's go.
This time Trinidad, warned by Halpern.
He's been getting away with that low blow to the side. It seems to bother Lovato every time he gets hit there.
Good defense there by Lovato to elude those punches by the taller Felix Trinidad. Trinidad about 5'11", Lovato at 5'8", 3-inch height advantage.
Keep it up, both. Come on.
He's punching down. Under 20 seconds in round 5. That one off the shoulder of Trinidad by Lovato with the right. Lovato saying, I'm okay, you didn't hurt me.
Watch those heads.
This is usually just the opposite when they do that. Straight right hand by Trinidad.
Yeah, that was a nice counter punch. Lovato missed wildly in a straight right hand right down the pipe, and he does it so effortlessly. He doesn't get a lot of emotion or strain in his face, just bang.
Let's go. Every time you're moving like that, you got him. Here we go. Here we go. Give me the water.
There, those are looking good.
Okay, hey Ray.
Huh?
How you feeling?
Fine.
Are you? Get the ice pack on the back of his head, okay?
Ice pack.
And give me some water.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna put some water on.
Let's take a look at the good right hand by Trinidad. Now see, Trinidad set. Now the distance is good enough for him. He misses with that, but now look how he comes back with the right. Boom! Right on the money. Right on the money. Good counter. It's not even a counter. He missed with one and came with the other. Let's listen.
Get that jab. You're bobbing and weaving. He's missing. Come up with that short hook. Okay? You know you got it there.
There you go. There you go. Give me a face. Give me a face.
All right. Go get him, baby. Come on. Go get him.
Here we go into round number 6 for the IBF welterweight championship.
many people here didn't think Ray Lovato would be here now, and I think he's here, and he's doing a very good job of it. He has not backed down to Felix Trinidad, nor has Felix Trinidad really overwhelmed him with his superiority. It's a good fight.
Well, Lovato's done a lot of things, Freddie, to neutralize Trinidad's power, but right now you can see there's just a tremendous skill difference and still a power difference.
There's a heavy straight right hand by Lovato, but off the top of Trinidad's head. Didn't do much damage, though he's been relatively inactive coming into this fight. Only 2 fights the last 2 years for Lovato. He has given Trinidad more trouble than a lot of people expected.
Yeah, translate that means he's still here rather than he's giving Trinidad a beating or challenging him in that way. I mean, just the fact that he's here is a big plus.
He has been a pest, I think it's safe to say.
But he said he was going to surprise. He said he wasn't going to be scared of this guy, and he hasn't been. Give him credit.
Oh, nice right hand.
Felix Trinidad.
That not only got Lovato's attention, that staggered him for a minute, but I'll tell you, to his credit, took it well.
Lovato showing a very good chin. Again, the warning from Mitch Halpern to Trinidad, keep those punches up.
That's the same place he's been landing and the same place Lovato winced every time he shot it there.
Little left hook there that made Lovato wince. Another left hook by Trinidad, followed up by a right, but the right missed. And then a straight left by Trinidad. Trinidad now boring in.
Finding the range now.
If Lovato's going to fight this type of fight, he's got to close the gap, because Trinidad right now is in perfect range, and Lovato has the shorter hands. He can't win this fight.
But this is where Lovato's in trouble. You can't go toe-to-toe. You cannot exchange with Trinidad. Straight right. Oh, look out. He's ready to go, and Mitch Halpern stops the fight. Trinidad wins.
Well, I tell you, it was probably only a matter of time. It looked a little bit premature, though, but I couldn't see Ray's eyes.
That's the only comment I can make. I haven't seen his eyes, but for a title fight where he was doing pretty good, that was a little teeny bit unfair to Lovato.
He was fighting back, Freddie. He was throwing punches. He was in the game.
I didn't see his eyes, like Bobby said, and the referee is right next to him, but he was right above us, and he didn't look like he was in that kind of trouble.
A few of the Boo Birds coming out here from this crowd of the MGM Grand, and Ray Lovato, well, you can see that he is upset at the stoppage by Mitch Halpern, feeling that was premature.
It's up to Doc. Up to Doc.
So a TKO in round 6 for Felix Trinidad, unofficially at 157. Lovato with a look of disgust on his face.
Well, you know, he comes from Sacramento where those guys fight it out. I mean, when you come with the background of Tony Lopez and Chacon and those guys that fought until they were on their knees, boy, this would have been a riot in Sacramento. This would have been a riot. Those people like to see fights all the way. I'm glad they stop it when it's no hope, but this guy had a little hope left.
His knees had buckled off that thunderous shot by Felix Trinidad. He did not go down, and Mitch Halpern stepped in and stopped the fight.
I'm okay, Grapple. I'm all right. I wasn't going nowhere.
Felix Trinidad keeps the streak alive, remains undefeated.
I could beat him. I could beat Trinidad.
Here you see where he first gets hurt in the round. He gets hit with a left hook and a right hand, and Felix is just setting him up. That right hand started a little stagger. You can see his feet come out from him just a bit, and he stumbles in forward. But I'll tell you, I thought he recovered from the stumble as we go on to later into the round, and we'll see the finish here from a side view. The right hand is clean, but not a big one. Left hook very clean, but I'll tell you what, I don't see enough of a wobble there. I don't see enough of a stagger or a passive defense. He was firing back. I think it was premature, my own personal opinion.
Now that I see the replay, I agree. I think it was stopped too soon. So does Ray Lovato, and you could hear the reaction. So do many of the folks here in the crowd. This man won't argue. Felix Trinidad and the supporters from Puerto Rico with their flags like the decision by Mitch Halpern. His 9th defense of the IBF welterweight title. His record now swells to 30-0 with 26 knockouts. And perhaps, yes, now it is time to start thinking unification, Felix. All right, we're set for the official time. Let's go to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 57 seconds of round number 6. Our referee in charge, Mitch Halpern, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated and still the IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Tito Trinidad. An
unpopular call there by The referee, Mitch Halpern, as you can tell by the response from this crowd here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas in our second of 4 fights, all leading up to the main event, Bruce Seldon and Mike Tyson for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. Coming up next, Terry Norris takes on Alex Rios for the IBF and WBC 154-pound championships. Into the dressing room here of Terry Norris, defending both titles. Ferocious puncher with tremendous hand speed. His list of triumphs reads like a who's who of boxing. Names like John Mugabe, Julian Jackson, Meldrick Taylor, and Sugar Ray Leonard, to name just a few. How about a future matchup with Felix Trinidad, Roy Jones Jr., or Pernell Whitaker? That's what the public really wants to see, perhaps soon. Right now, we're set for post-fight interviews. We go to the ring and the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco.
Tito, ¿esperaste algo tan difícil al principio? Did you wait for something? Were you expecting something that hard at the beginning?
Bueno, sí quiero decirle, Rey Lovato es un gran peleador que sí yo lo había visto en tape y sé que era un boxeador que venía bajito.
Yes, I saw him on tape. I knew he came in low, and it would take me a little bit of time to solve him. Parar la pelea fue muy pronto. Did you think the fight was stopped too soon?
Bueno, yo sé que yo le estaba dando muy buenos golpes. Rey Lovato estaba bastante lastimado y la apreciación del árbitro era en ese momento a lo mejor pararla.
He said I was hitting him very hard, and he was getting all the shots right flush. And if the referee thought that it was too much, then that was his shot. He should have stopped it. So no problem with that. En el futuro, Terry Norris, ¿está preparado in the future? Are you prepared to fight Terry Norris?
Sí, estoy preparado para hacer la próxima pelea con Terry Norris, para subir a Super Welter y me voy a hacer nuevo campeón Super Welter.
Okay, muchas gracias, Tito. Now with Ray Lovato, a very disappointed warrior, a guy from Sacramento's don't quit, so there was no quitting you. Did they stop it too soon?
I think they stopped it too soon, you know. But I think I was winning the whole fight.
You thought you were winning that fight?
Up to that point, I thought I was winning the fight. Mitch Halpern's the ref. His job is to protect the fighters. It's his job. He can see, so whatever he says, it goes. I just pray to God I get another shot, and I will be a world champion.
All right,
I will.
Ray, did you feel hurt? Because those shots were really ringing off your head.
I'm a Lovato. I'm tough. I can handle those shots. I'm okay. My dad hits me, man. I can handle those shots. I'm okay. He's a good fighter. He's a champion of the world. Hey, anybody that can hit me like that's a good fighter. I take nothing away from Trinidad. He was doing his job.
So you would like a rematch?
Oh, yes.
Dicen que le gustaría que usted le diera otra oportunidad si es posible.
Bueno, eso hay que hablar. Yo le daría la oportunidad, pero hay que hablar con mi manejador, que es mi padre, y con el promotor Don King. Yo se la doy cuando ellos quieran. Yo peleo con cualquiera.
He says anytime, anywhere, wherever they want, but you got to talk to his dad and to Don King, who manages everything. Together, they manage his future. I think it's Terry Norris and his future right now. But in effect, this fight appeared to be stopped too soon. But then again, that's what fighting has become. And now back to Steve at ringside.
All right, Ferdy, thanks very much. As Felix Trinidad retains his title, his 9th defense of the IBF Welterweight Championship, 30-0 with 26 knockouts. And Ray Lovato slips to 21-2 as he goes back to Sacramento. Felix Tito Trinidad will carry the championship belt back to Puerto Rico once again. The actual scoring after 5 rounds, we were just handed 48-47, 49-46, 49-46. All 3 judges in favor of Felix Trinidad. The crowd here at the MGM Grand was not pleased with the move by Mitch Halpern stopping the fight. They thought prematurely in round 6 in favor of Felix Tito Trinidad. All right, we take a look at the online scoring results from our second bout of the evening between Trinidad and Lovato. Here's the way the online voting for the fight went through the mtyson.com website. They saw it this way: Felix Trinidad 3 rounds, Ray Lovato 2 rounds. Very close. If you took part in the online voting through mtyson.com, we thank you for your participation. The online voting will continue with the start of our next bout, Norris versus Rios. The internet address for online voting, www.mtyson.com. Before voting starts, you can poke around mtyson.com on the World Wide Web. mtyson.com, specifically designed for this event, and features bios, interviews, video downloads, and more. And the fight, according to Bobby Chaz. Bobby, your main highlight with the help of the telestrator.
We know here we're going to have to take a look at what you see here when you see these two guys, the distance between them and the height. Okay, Felix Trinidad, taller, longer range. Look at this distance. Okay, you see that distance? That distance has to be closed. What Lovato tries to do is jab going backwards. You're going to see it. Trinidad, being the consummate professional, slips the jab here and comes over the top of the right and continues with left hooks and right hand, so he has his man in trouble. As we roll the tape, you'll see it. Lovato couldn't leave this gap here. He has to attack. And here you'll see a crossover the right hand and the hook. He's staying too far. It's at Trinidad's perfect range. Is he trying to reach from outside? He's walking into hooks clean, flush. Another one there. That was the wrong range for him to try to be effective from. All to Trinidad's favor.
TKO round 6. Felix Trinidad. Well, because of the controversy involved in this fight, we've got the fight doctor with the referee, Mitch Halpern. Ferdy?
The referee, Mitch Halpern, who had another little tough decision. How come so soon?
Well, I saw his eyes cross with that right hand 2 punches before I stopped it, and you know, his eyes were glazy and he was going back to the ropes, and I just didn't want to be inevitable him to get knocked down and get hurt possibly, so I stopped it.
You thought the end was inevitable. Let's take a look at how it goes. Let's watch him on there. Go ahead. You talk.
Okay, when he gets hit, he's going to get hit here, and his eyes are going to cross, and I see that, and he's kind of reeling back right there. You know, Trinidad's punches have this thing on him, so I didn't want the kid to get hurt. He got hit again. You know, his eyes are real glazy and going back into the ropes, and that's it. I saw enough.
Yeah, well, you were standing right there and you were really looking in his eyes. You could see from that replay you were really concentrated on his eyes. So if you say his eyes closed and were glazed, then you had to stop the fight.
Absolutely. That's what I'm there for. So that's why I did it.
That is what you're there for. All right, back to Steve Albert at ringside.
All right, Ferdy, a slow start by Trinidad, but as we said, what a strong finisher. The big left hook finishing off Ray Lovato here in controversial fashion. Coming up later here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, the main event, Selden versus Tyson. Bruce Selden and Mike Tyson will square off for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. For more on our featured attraction and a close-up look at Mike Tyson, let's throw it back up to Jim Hill.
Mike Tyson remains one of the most fascinating figures in all of sports. Despite the fact that Tyson has been in the spotlight since he was a teenager, the man behind the myth remains somewhat of a mystery. During his preparation for tonight's fight, the former and current champion let his guard down and reflected on his recent experiences and how they have affected him.
I was away for 4 years, and I've been in prison, and I've been through a great deal of degradation and disrespect. But you can't expect somebody to get over something in a year that he dealt with for 3.5 years. I think the prison it really did a number on me, and it's hard to really explain.
Tyson now lives and trains in the secluded farm country of Ohio, far from the pressures of fame and the temptations of the past.
Look at my situation. I allowed myself, you know, even though other people contribute to it, I have to carry the weight of a fool. You know what I mean? I didn't create this image alone, but I'm the only one that has to carry it alone.
Despite his reluctance for publicity and insistence on privacy, Tyson knows he stands on the brink of boxing greatness.
I never want to put myself in a position where I feel that I'm great. That's a vulnerable position to be in when you think you're invincible. So I just never want to be in that position where I believe that I'm invincible when I was younger. Till this day, sometimes I say, how the hell do I get here? You know, because I look at myself, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, I'm not the strongest guy in the world, and I say to myself, what am I doing here? And I've been doing this since I've been 12 years old, fighting competitively, and I say, what am I doing here? Look at me, I'm short. I got probably the shortest reach in heavyweight history. You know what I mean? And I've been one of the most successful heavyweights. And that's what comes, it's just the will to win and the desire to overcome adversity.
Tyson still possesses the power, the speed, and the ferocity he needs to succeed in the heavyweight division. But he is trying to curb the anger and channel the aggression he often exhibited toward his opponents outside the ring.
Like I tell you.
Stay right there, Solly, baby.
Come on. I don't want to humiliate anyone. I've been humiliated too much. I've seen too many people humiliated. And I really never understand the effect of humiliation until I went to prison.
When Tyson recently defeated his longtime rival, Frank Bruno, to regain the WBC championship, many were surprised by what happened just moments after his victory. And Mike Tyson over to console Frank Bruno. I'd love to find out what he's saying to him.
I was just saying, basically, thank you very much for the opportunity. And you know what I mean, I respect you a great deal as a man, and I love you as well. And I just wanted to show him my respect.
Tyson's more mature, more disciplined attitude, however, has not diminished his confidence or extinguished his competitive fire. For as he prepares to meet the determined Bruce Seldon for the WBA championship, he is eager to fight and hungry to win.
If I beat this guy, win this title after 10 years of winning the first one, that's going to be wild. After went through all that crap, from the beginning of trouble with the courts and the clubs and all this, and this so-called, quote, fondling situation in the prison time, and being put in a hole, and being harassed in prison, and all that. And I come out here and I'm going to beat this guy and win this title. You know what I mean? I'm saying this is something.
One of the legends of boxing.
Our fascination with Mike Tyson is due to his ferocious style in the ring and the chaotic life outside of it. And who knows if we will ever be able to separate man from myth. For more on Team Tyson, let's go to Jim Gray in the dressing room. Jim.
All right. Thank you very much, Jim Hill. I'm here with Rory Holloway, John Horn, co-managers of Mike Tyson. What's going on inside right now with Mike? It seemed like a much more relaxed, much more calm atmosphere.
Absolutely. Mike is very relaxed. He's in shape. He just really can't wait to the event. Come on. You know.
Why the change? Usually we see the intensity, some of the anger, but today we just saw, a man who seemed to be at peace.
I don't think you've ever seen anger. I think you've seen a guy that's just prepared to do his job. But as time goes on, each fight goes on, Mike get a little more confident. So that kind of, breeds success. Confidence breeds success, and become a lot more relaxed.
Now, Bruce Seldon made some statements during the pre-fight about trying to avoid him, that you guys had bronchitis, really didn't have bronchitis. Can you address that at all, and what would be the reason, if any, to avoid Bruce Seldon?
Well, any sane, practical human being in the world would absolutely know without a doubt that Mike never tried to avoid anybody in that squared ring. That's absurd. It's just a situation that happened, something that happens, it's beyond our control. It could have been him that got sick. We would have been in a position we had the week, so it's something we can't do nothing about. We're here tonight, Mike's prepared, he's 100%, Mike's 100%. And, we're going to see what happens.
What concerns you and Mike most in this fight?
That he comes in the ring.
That's it?
I don't want to sound overconfident or anything, or lack of respect for Bruce Seldon. He's a great fighter, a great champion, but he must pass the baton on to a greater fighter. Mike is the epitome of the heavyweight champion, and he's here to prove it tonight.
Do you guys begin to look to the future, an undisputed heavyweight champion?
Not at all. I think as far as Mike is concerned and myself, and I'm speaking for Team Tyson, we have to take this first. In the next hour or so, we'll be out there putting Mike's skills against Bruce Seldon's skills, and after that, we can go on. But right now, just Bruce Seldon.
Rory, thank you. Good luck tonight.
You're welcome.
All right, let's send it back outside now to Steve Albert.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Crowd continues to settle in here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas in anticipation of tonight's featured event, the WBA